sing Pop Goes the Weasel.
Hey, what's good? So the pop goes the weasel of the week. Drop. Hey, what's good? It's Friday. We made another one. Hey, I just took y'all back to 1991. Actually, I think it was before that because I believe this came out while I was in school. Third Base. I know the Low Brothers know what I'm talking about. Sleep, where you at? Hey, it's Friday. Shout out to Corona Premiere as always. I think that's my last one though, but I got some reserves. Hey, welcome back. Told you I'm coming in. We here again. It's Friday. Got a couple of games tonight. Ought to be good ones. We got game 6, Mavs Warriors. I'm sorry, Mav Clips, and then we have game 6, Cavs. Man, I'm drawing a blank. Cavs and the Magic. So both good series. We'll get to them in a second. But hot off the press, they got Darvin Ham, man. Woj hit me up, man, about 12:30. He gone. Yeah, I got a direct line to Woj. No Twitter, no none of that. I catch it before it, right as soon as it come out. Darvin Ham is gone. I think we all knew it was going to happen. But honestly, every 2 years y'all going to fire the coach. Ain't his fault. That's just not a good team. I've been telling y'all this probably 5 years now. Got the bubble. Frank Vogel won in the bubble. They fired him a year later. Went and got Darvin Ham. Now you fired him. Now you're out there talking about coaches. I heard J.J. Redick's name pop up. Quinn Snyder, Budenheiser. It don't matter who y'all bring in for this team. Doesn't matter. Unless you can get you some players. I heard some the other day, I always talk about the guys they traded away, but it's one trade I kind of I missed. I won't say I missed, but I forget the magnitude of it. We always talk about Russ got there. He was there. How he got there. They gave up Caldwell Pope and Kuzma for Russ, and I forgot maybe some picks too. Think about that part of the trade. And then at the same time, they let Caruso walk. Think about those three right there. That was more recent than letting go of all my young guys, Zoe and Josh Hart. Congrats to the Knicks. We'll talk about them in a little bit. That's another part of the Lakers part that kind of killed them. So what are they going to do next? Go get Tyronn Lue. And the reason I say Tyronn Lue is because he's the last person won with LeBron. They have a relationship. LeBron is a cancer. He's a coach killer right now. And not just him. I ain't going to say LeBron. It's hard to coach superstars. It's very hard to coach guys. Like when you have guys at that caliber, at that GOAT conversation, they're hard to coach. Only Phil Jackson coached 2 of the best 3 players that ever played basketball. And he was able to win with Kobe. He was able to win with Mike. He had that mental part that they could relate to, and those guys respected him. A lot of these superstar players don't respect the coach, and that makes the problem. You think about it, Larry Bird always had a great coach. Magic Johnson had Riles. Like, people probably don't know, before Riley got there, Magic ran Paul Westphal out of there. Like, he didn't respect them. Michael got rid of Doug Collins. Like, it takes a lot when you're at that elite level to have a coach that you respect that's going to get you to the championship. LeBron's had 2. He had Tyronn Lue, and he had Eric Spoelstra. And that was probably what for Spoelstra, but D-Wade, it was D-Wade's team at the time. So that was a little bridge there. So the Lakers, I don't know what they can do, honestly. Me personally, I say you break ties with LeBron, you blow this shit up, and you start over. I wouldn't have fired Darvin Ham. I'd have just got me some young talent, man. Told LeBron, wherever you want your son to go, y'all go play together. I said it before, they should go back to Cleveland. Get Bronny, y'all from there, go to Cleveland, go play. get trade for Donovan Mitchell, get him out of there, put LeBron in, and y'all go on forever. So that's the latest and greatest around the league. Another hot topic, and it probably won't see the impact till next year, man. Pat Bev lost it last night. Pat Bev throwing basketballs at the fans, man. And I thought Pat Bev, now he a part of the new media, I thought he had kind of calmed down a little bit, but he lost it. But I understand Milwaukee, everything that could go wrong did go wrong for Milwaukee this year. You think about going back, and we'll talk. I won't get into it in detail, but Pat Bev, it's under investigation now. I guess, they start singing going off to Cancun or whatever. Pat Bev threw the ball to the guy. The guy threw it back. Pat Bev hurled it back at him. Apparently may have hit a woman. So he going to do some games starter next season. Who knows? He might not be in Milwaukee, but he'll do some games wherever. So a lot of eliminations now. So let's get back into, that's the latest of the news. Let's get back into the series. As always, we're going to go east to west, and we're gonna knock out, we're going to get rid of those that have been eliminated. So Bucks fresh off elimination. We saw it coming. As soon as Giannis went down, I get it, Dame's there, but losing your best player, MVP candidate, hard to make that up. From a leadership standpoint, his production levels, you just can't. It'll take you 3 or 4 guys to bring in what Giannis what he produces. So now you look at Milwaukee, and shout out to the Pacers play well. I mean, they've been pretty good all season. They have a good talent. Halliburton is good. Tell you, I didn't realize Miles Turner been in the league down in 10 years, man. But Miles had a great series. He played well too. Hey, Leroy, no burps. That's just a good. So Miles played well. Pacers overall play well. So the city it's a good place to be in Indiana right now. You got Caitlin in town. The Pacers are winning, and the Bucks are the Bucks have to retool. So what do you do if you're the Bucks? Maybe you get Doc a full year. Now I get Doc 1 year, maybe 2. I think you ship Dame out. Dame didn't want to be there. I think you try to get Dame to. I think you try to get Dame down to Miami where he wanted to go. But I'm not giving him up for nothing less than Tyler Hero. And ideally for me, I want Hero and Duncan, maybe Jaquez. I want one of those. 2 of those 3 got to come with me because that gives Milwaukee some more shooting in case Chris Middleton, he opted out, in case he decides to leave. That gives you some more shooting. You're still a defensive liability, but at least you get some shooting around Giannis. So the drive and kick. So now you got some perimeter shooters, some guys that can really knock down shots. Hero can score. So if Middleton were to leave, you got Middleton there, and then Pat Bev come back there as your point guard. So you're still solid. You got Giannis, you got Brook, you got Bobby Portis. You might have to give up. You probably need to, put a little bit into that bench. The Lakers gonna have a lot of dudes unsigned, man. Go pick some of those bums up, but they may do better in the Midwest. Celtics put away the Heat. Kind of no surprise there. Once Jimmy left, that was it. But they got hurt by the injury bug. Jaquez went down. A lot of injuries were pretty decent through the season. We can't playoff time. A lot of guys went down. So the Heat, probably not a championship team anymore. Is Jimmy going to renew his contract? Will he stay? They do, as always, they do have some young talent around him. You got he's another Vic, as Shaq would say, the point guard. You got Jaquez. You still have Tyler Hero. You got Duncan Robinson. You got Martin. So they have players. They're going to always be in the mix. Maybe you get Dame that takes you up a level, put you in that top 3 or 4 in the East. So they have some things they have to go back and work on. So Pacers, Celtics. I'm going to say the Knicks for last. Tonight we had, because it was a great series. Tonight we had a Magic Cavs. Good game, the last one. Cavs came out. Cavs lead the series 3-2. I think they should be able to put it away tonight and move forward. That's probably been about the least entertaining. The games have been solid. I guess this series lacks a little star power. So it's just kind of a grime it out, gritty series, whoever's going to come through. Like I said, Paolo's probably the best player in that series to me. But the bigs have been playing well for Cleveland. So I'm not sure. Neither one of them going to advance after this round. That's it. So it doesn't matter. You win, you're out of it. So no more for them. Now this next one, man, you talk about a heavyweight fight. The Knicks and the Sixers. I know people gonna talk about Embiid. He can't win, man. But Embiid played on one leg. He had the ballsy thing going on with his face. No diddy. So I give Embiid a lot of credit. He put up a 50-point game. He played well. He had 30 plus the other night. Embiid gave everything he had in this series. I know Shaq got on him a lot about shooting those threes, man, but he on one leg, man. You can't bang a lot on one leg. So if they willing to leave him open at the top of the key, he knocked that down all day long. Maxey, we talked about last week. This is your transition to the league, man. All the big guns are out. Maxey showed out. He won that game the other night, down 6 with 40-something seconds left. He knocked down a 3, gets fouled, comes back and shoots one from the logo, 3-point play. Knicks go into overtime, and they just kind of keep going. I mean, Sixers push it to overtime, the game keeps going. He won it. Last night, had an off night. And the thing with that is, this is why I tell you there's levels to this. Max is going to be a good player. Probably is already a good player. Can he hit that grade level? It's hard to bring that 30 plus every game. Now, on the other side of the ball, Jalen Brunson is that guy. He brought 3 40-point games and kept the Knicks. They lost. He kept them in one. He kind of spaced out in that overtime. He made some bad plays. I know Stephen A was talking about pass the ball. Man, I'm not passing. I got 40. I got us here. I'm going to take this home. You got to have that mindset. Because if you start passing the ball, then y'all going to say he LeBron and he don't want to take the big shot. So he did the right thing. He threw the ball out of bounds. That was just 2 guys not on the same page. Mitchell was cutting. I believe it was Mitchell. Mitchell was cut to the basket because Jalen, 9 times out of 10, he's taking that shot. So Mitchell was going to rebound. So no fault to anybody. It happened. The Knicks had one. They probably should have won that game. It should have been over in 5. You let Philly back in, but the Knicks went into Philadelphia and closed it out. And Jalen, he's just playing at a very high level. He's probably, when it's said and done, we will say he's great. We're going to say he's great. There's no doubt about it. I don't see the trajectory is just what Michael Jordan say, the ceiling is the roof. He's high. We'll be talking all NBA for quite a while when it comes to Jalen Brunson. His banner's up there. He went home to Philly, Villanova. They win. It was a wrap. So this had me to think, and I was watching his dad, Rick Brunson, play for the Bulls for a little while, play for the Knicks too. I forgot, maybe I knew it and I forgot he was coaching on the Knicks now. I think he got the job after Brunson signed. I think that's, a part of it. How many father-son, there's a lot of father-sons that played in the league. You got the Paytons and, it's a bunch of those. The Kenyon Martin, his son, Scottie Pippen, his son. There's a lot of that going on, the Currys. But how many former players have become coaches and had the ability to coach their son? I could only think of Doc Rivers as the other one. Maybe I'm missing somebody. I know there's been a lot of players that became coaches and then their sons became coaches, but not a coach and now he's coaching his son. Former player became a coach that now coaches his son or has coached his son. And I can only think of, we see it with Rick Brunson and Jalen now, and I can only think of Doc Rivers and Austin. Is there any other, man? If y'all, I couldn't think of anybody. If you can, put it in the comments because I'm curious. I just don't recall anybody. It could be on me. I couldn't think of anybody. Now, moving on to the next round. So the Knicks play the Pacers. 20 years ago, so for some of y'all my young listeners, Reggie Miller, Spike Lee, This was one of the biggest rivalries outside of maybe the Bulls, Knicks, Bulls, Pacers. This was right there in that triangle, Pacers, Knicks. Reggie Miller hitting 8 points in like 5 seconds, giving Spike Lee the choke sign. Numerous battles, man. Rick Smits, the Davis brothers, Mark Jackson was on the Knicks, Ewing, Starks. Like it was huge rivalry. So excited to see where this one goes. Good matchups all around. I still think the Knicks are just playing, and primarily due to Jalen Brunson and Ononami, that the Knicks will take this series in 6. Indiana get a couple at home. But I think right now, man, the Knicks are just playing at that level, and we're going to end up seeing the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the path is just kind of opened up where they can get there. The other side, the Celtics got a cakewalk. It's not even, whoever wins, even without Porzingis, you slide Al Horford in. Al Horford been doing this for a while now. So you slide him in and just let him go. Al Horford going to get you there. So the Celtics, Knicks, Eastern Conference Finals. You can pencil it in. That's where it's going to go. Now you move over to the West, man. And the West is really, man, it's the changing of the guard. The old timers were very disappointing, man. Some of these teams, you had 2 teams got swept. One had a gentleman's sweep. OKC and the Pels, and the only reason they swept them was because Zion was out. You put Zion back in that's a different series. I think the Thunder still win, but Zion alone will get you a couple of games, and maybe that helps BI. I don't know what's going on with BI, man. I think the Pels really got to look at how do they get him back to that all-star level he was at about 2 years ago. I'm not sure if it's the comfort level playing with BI. They don't have a point guard or their offensive sets aren't flowing where he can get involved in the game. But they have to figure out how to bring BI back, because right now he's not there. He's not anywhere where he used to be. So we got to get BI back in the flow. OKC is just young, man, and good. It's just period. I really didn't watch a lot of them, but I like Dort. We know Giddy Diddy is good. You got an MVP player. So OKC is moving on. OKC will play the winner of the Mavs Clippers tonight. Clippers are disappointed, man. I know early on I thought they would be a lot more. They're just disappointed, man. Maybe they will always be second fiddle. Now they both bad out in LA. But the Clippers are just disappointing, man. Kawhi had a great season, stayed healthy. Now the playoffs coming, he missing. He's street clothes. He over there in his fresh New Balance on the sidelines. Russ is doing his best, but he's still Russ. Just, coming off the bench, he's trying. James Harden hadn't produced. Paul George had a couple of good games, man. They already talking about him not re-signing. Baldwin got them moving into this new stadium, and I don't know what kind of team he's going to have. And if Tyronn Lue listens to me, he's going to go back to the other side and go coach the Lakers. So they'll be looking for a coach. But, are the Clippers just that franchise that we always thought they would be? They're just never going to win. They just won't win. It's a little nicer out here today in Texas, man. It's not 85 degrees. It's been raining for the last 2 days, so it's kind of cool. I ain't over here sweating bullets in this humidity. So tonight we got the Mavs Clippers. I think Luke and Kyrie are going to put them away tonight. The trades that they made, the 3-and-D guys they brought in, PJ Washington, it's paying off now. You putting those guys with Kyrie and Luka. I'd like to see Luka move the ball a little more. We're probably not going to see that, but I think tonight it's over. I think the Mavs put them away 4-2, and then they go see OKC. Can they beat OKC? No. OKC is going to move on. We'll go into details on the next show about that. By that time, we'll be in that round. Minnesota Suns, 4-0 Minnesota. Told you at the beginning of the season, this thing was not going to work with this big three they tried to put together. Boy, that's good on a Friday. They're not good. They're talented, and then the owner comes out talking about we're going to get the best of KD. KD probably had one of the most efficient seasons he's ever had. You know, his numbers were great across the board. Book had great numbers. Now, they probably played 30-something odd games all together, but it's an AAU team. They're just not. It's not a cohesive unit. Like, again, they tried to play without a point guard. This is where you probably really could have used a Chris Paul to distribute, but you're going to be small because if you bring Chris Paul in, KD's going to be at the 4. That's the only thing you have, and then where does that put Grayson Allen? He's probably out, right? So 6-man. I don't know. You tried it. I'd probably get rid of Bill if I had to do anything. I know there's, again, your boy Stephen A. talking about Book going to the Knicks, but one of those three got to go when you have to try to get something for him. You got to get a point guard, and I would probably say a 3-and-D guy because they don't have any perimeter defenders outside of Grayson Allen. Book is okay, KD is okay, but they don't really have a lockdown defender on the team. So those are the moves you make to try to get this team better, but it may take a minute. And then Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. So there's something I wanted to talk about Minnesota. Minnesota defensively, that's the difference maker with them. They have wing defenders as well as the interior defenders. And their team defense is amazing. There was a point in the closing game, probably in the third quarter, Phoenix is whipping the ball around the perimeter, and Minnesota is doing what every coach's dream of. Next man, you move to the ball, you close out, next man slides. So I'd do better if I could draw it, but they weren't able to get the shot because Minnesota closed out. So, of course, they make the next pass. Every next pass, they couldn't get the shots. This happened for about 3 passes, going on 4. On that 4th pass, it might have been Daniels. He was able to slide in and get a steal. And if you can picture that, just the ball moving left to right that quickly, and for them to be able to get out to the perimeter, close out, and force the next pass, and then come up with the steal is great defense. And I think that's what's going to put them in the finals. Not sure if that's defense going to be enough to stop the Joker. But that's the difference in this team right now. I thought they were young, but I think they have enough now after watching them and being led by Mike. They can get to the finals. If I had to bet, could they beat Denver? They have a chance. And I think we'll end up seeing Minnesota. Well, I'm jumping the gun. They play in the next round. Sorry. I want to see them in the finals. But they're actually playing in the next round because Denver just destroyed, and I won't say destroyed, they beat the Lakers. They did not play their best basketball, and they won the series 4-1. They came back 4 times. The Lakers put up a hell of a fight in the last game. They couldn't close out. And you can blame Darvin Ham on the last couple of possessions, challenging the play, not having a timeout. LeBron was crying for him to challenge all throughout the game, so finally he probably just said, fuck it, I'm going to challenge one so you would be quiet. So he made the last challenge, and they just didn't. They have a timeout at the end. But you look back at those games, and even I'll compare this to last night's game where the Knicks were up 22. The reason Denver is able to come back like that is because most teams, when they have a big lead, they hit a wall and they go on a 3 to 4 or 5 minute scoring drought where they don't score. That allows the other team to get in the game. Denver doesn't have that, so they just kind of chip away at leads because they have 2 guys that can always get you a bucket. So they just kind of chip away. Every possession, if you miss one, so you think about it, every 2 possessions, if you go 2 possessions without scoring, they're going to score 1, probably 2. So that could be anywhere from a 4 to 7 point swing. And on a 15-point lead, you just cut the lead in half in less than a minute. That's the difference maker in Denver. They don't really go, if you watch them enough, they don't have scoring droughts. They continuously throughout the game flows, and they score in the majority of their possessions. Now, the last couple of games, they turned the ball over more than usual, but on a good possession, they're going to score. So that takes us to the next round. We got OKC versus the Mavs. Ought to be a great series. I'm saying the Mavs. I could be wrong. I'm saying OKC and the Mavs. And I'm saying Minnesota Nuggets. I just want the Minnesota Nuggets series, Denver series, to go 7 games. I want to see Joker go up against both of those bigs. Him fighting with Rudy and then Towns coming in on a double. Like, they can really give Joker a problem, but I think Joker's IQ, Porter's going to shine in this series. Because if they start bringing that double, Joker's going to kick it out to perimeter guys. And guys like Pope and Porter are going to knock down shots. And if he's playing in a high-low game, Aaron Gordon's going to have more dunks in this series than you ever seen because he's just going to play the baseline. He's just going to run the baseline, and Joker's going to find him on the double on either a bounce pass or a lob. Aaron Gordon's on the baseline. Murray going to be Murray. Minnesota, on the other hand, if they win, it's going to be by defense. I don't think they have the offensive power outside of Anthony Edwards to beat you offensively, but their impact on the game defensively is what's going to help them win. So they'll slow you down, and if they can capitalize, if Denver makes those turnovers, Minnesota will capitalize on the turnovers, and that'll be the difference in the series. The OKC Mavs series, we're going to see a lot of points. A lot of points. They are going to be both teams are offensive juggernauts. Neither one of them play great defense. They're better, but they're going to play great. So you can easily see SGA, Luka, Kyrie, 25, close to 30 points a game in this series. So, all right. So that's what we got. So tonight we have 2 games. And I'll give you, here, Leroy, I'm going to give you something. Here's your combo. Take the Mavs and Orlando money line. Put that together, see where you end up. Take Donovan Mitchell points. Take the over on Paolo, his PRA. Take Paolo. So those are your three bets for the night. Now, I want to finish off this. I'm going to start something new here. Every week I'm going to give you a new 5. So, this is going to be it ain't going to be Stephen A's list. This is going to be Calvin's list of my top 5, whatever it may be. Whatever I may decide to come up with. So today, I want to go my 5 impact players in the playoffs. And I'm going to go from, of course, 5 all the way up to 1. All right? And I'm kind of shooting on this. I'm looking at my notes here. So number 5, you look at all these series. Number 5, I'm gonna say Luka, even though it's not over. Luka, actually, I might give them both. Luka, they might get 2. Luka is just, the reason the Mavs are where they are is because of Luka, man. He's just a walking bucket. Luka is a bucket. Nothing you can say and or do to stop him is what it is. Luka is just that guy. Number 4, I'm gonna go with his teammate Kyrie. There have been points where Kyrie has just taken over the game, and with his finishes, he's probably the best finisher in the game. So tonight, let's see how both of them put together. And number 3, SGA and OKC. And actually, I just realized something, but I'm gonna bump Kyrie out. I'm gonna put Anthony Edwards back there. So AE goes in there. Kyrie is out. Sorry. Number 3 is SGA. Number 2, SGA, they went 4-0. He just, without him, they don't win. Number 2 is Jamal Murray. Murray closed out some ridiculous games. Ridiculous. 2 games in a row he won on jumpers, winners off the screen. They don't know how to defend them. And number 1, with 3 40-point games in a row, advancing the Knicks to the Garden, back for the second round, I'm going to give it to Jalen Brunson. I know I probably should have threw Tyrese Maxey in there too. It's hard, a lot of guys, but there's your 5. So you can grade me. You can give me a B+, A-, whatever you want to do. But there we go. So, hey, we're out of here. We're ready to go watch these games. I think I got you right close to. If I can download this pretty quickly, you should be up before game time. Maybe catch it at the half. But, hey, thank you. God bless. Happy Friday to y'all. I'll see you again next Friday. We'll be in the second round, so we'll talk a little bit about the second round and see who the Lakers are going to hire and see what other coaches get fired in the next few days. All right, man. Take it. Love y'all. God bless.